Hello friends and welcome back. So what we have discussed in the previous session is about the tuning and troubleshooting. Along with that, there is a great importance of monitoring as well. Okay, because once I have the complete statistics of my current situation of the application server, that I can identify what is the best value I need for my system. Right. So that means we have to do the monitoring of our current systems, what is happening inside my WebSphere at each and every subsystem level. Okay, so that I can identify a better value, better tuned value for my system, right? And along with that, what are the different subsections or areas where I can look for specifically in the WebSphere? Okay, so in this session, I will give you some overview of the monitoring components in the WebSphere. Along with that, what are the major critical areas where we actually work when we talk about the performance tuning of application servers. Okay, and then we'll start with the actual implementations of all the explanations. Okay, implementation means I will explain each and every concept with the explanation, and then I will show you with how to configure and where to configure in the WebSphere as well. Right. So now when we say tuning and troubleshooting in WebSphere, okay, so that means WebSphere application server provides several tunable parameters and options to match the application server environment to the requirement of your application. So as I said, we have a multiple different environments like the production, pre-production, development, right? So each and every environment may have a different set of values because the load is completely different in each and every environment, right? And there are a lot of parameters that need to be tuned according to your ecosystem. Okay, for example, how available is your database? So based on that, I can do a lot of tuning for my data source where I create the different connection pools for the connections in my database with the help of application server. Okay, similarly, how many concurrent requests we are expecting in the WebSphere? So based on that, what we do, we define the different values for the threads. Okay, at the different level. So that means overall, there are multiple subsystem or areas where we tune the different values, and along with that we monitor it in our WebSphere. Okay, so that we can identify the right value for tuning. Okay, so if I talk about the key points, so default setting work but may not the best. So as we know that if we are not doing any troubleshooting, we just install the WebSphere, we start using that one. So there are certain set of initial value that is already configured, right? But that values may not be the best for your environment. As I said, we have a different kind of a load in each and every environment. Okay, production load may be very high, the non-production may be very less, so the parameters may not be suitable across all the environments. Okay, so default setting may not going to work for you, so you have to tune that values for your specifically for the production environment. Okay, so WebSphere runs with the default values, but some applications need tuning, such as more heap size. So when we install the WebSphere and we create the different servers, okay, so when we create the server, by default it is automatically assigned a heap size. Okay, if you don't know what is heap size, what is heap memory, what I'm talking about here, you don't need to worry about that one. We have a detailed session on that where I will explain you what is JVM, what is heap size, so that you will get a complete clarity. Okay, so as of now, what you can understand, it is a small portion of your RAM. Okay, so whatever the RAM that you have in your operating system, small portion of that RAM we assign to the application server. Okay, for each and every application server. So for depend on each and every environment, we have to assign the different heap size for our servers. Similarly, we have a thread pool size. So that means each and every request that is coming to your WebSphere, it is processed by the threads. Okay, so again, if you do not have idea of the thread and pool size, we have a detailed session on this as well. What is thread pool size, how it works. I will explain everything in detail. Okay, so as of now, you understand whatever the request that is coming to your web server from the end user, every request is processed by a thread. Okay, for each and every request, there would be a separate thread which is processing your request. Okay, so that means you need to tune the threads as well. You need to tune your better connection pool size. That means if your WebSphere is connecting to the database, okay, so for this connectivity we have the data source where we have the connection pool capacity. Okay, so this connection pool capacity define how many concurrent connections you can create to the database. That means how many concurrent connections your application can make to the database. This is depend on your connection pool size. Similarly, we have a session cache tuning. Okay, so there are multiple places where we use the cache for increase the performance of your applications. Okay, so we have an area in WebSphere we perform the tuning of the session cache as well. Okay, so these are the some important areas where we mostly focus on specifically in the tuning. But apart from this, there are a lot of more areas that we are going to cover in this particular session. Right. So, what is the objective, overall objective of tuning our performance is same thing: faster response time, better throughput, more user handled, and less CPU memory waste. Okay, that means whatever the hardware configuration you have to use that optimally. You should able to cater the more users. You should get the better throughput. That means the number of requests that is processing per second. Okay, so that you get good throughput and the fast response of your application. So this is the overall goal, you can say, of the performance tuning, okay, or the troubleshooting as well, okay, for your application server. And everything we are going to cover in this series in detail. Okay, so now apart from that, application code also matter for the tuning. Okay, so application code more if the application is bad design or has slow SQL queries, tuning help with a little. Okay, so as I said, our code is processing the request and it is calling each and every subsystem in your WebSphere. Okay, so that means your code also has to be tuned. There are multiple ways for writing the code. Someone can write the code in one line, but someone can write the same code in the 2 pages. Okay, so that means your code also participate very heavily on the tuning as well. Okay, so you have to make sure that your application code is also properly optimized. So good application code along with the tuning, you can get the best performance only. Okay, and this application code tuning is completely depend on your developers. So now, as I said, we have importance of monitoring and tuning. Okay, so tuning and troubleshooting apart from monitoring. So monitoring and tuning section in IBM WebSphere Application Server Admin Console is used to check server health, performance, and troubleshoot slowness. So the good thing is that in the WebSphere we have a console where we have the multiple different subsections, okay, which we can utilize to monitor the current situation, or you can say the current statistics of your different parameters which is processing the request in your WebSphere. Okay, and this is completely inside the monitoring and tuning section. So this is your WebSphere admin console. So here you have a monitoring and tuning subsection. Okay, and inside that you will have the performance monitoring infrastructure, which is called the PMI. Okay, and then we have a request matrices. Then we have the performance viewer where we can check the current activity and we can check the logs. So this is a very critical and important section. Okay, and this specifically from the monitoring perspective, how you can monitor your current infrastructure or what is happening inside your current WebSphere, like what is the current utilization of thread, what is the current utilization of your connection pool. So every details you can monitor with the help of this particular section. And along with that, you can see here we have a troubleshooting sections as well that also help us to do a lot of different kind of troubleshootings. Okay, so now specifically what I'm going to talk about is this monitoring and tuning subsection. Execution I will show when I will be reaching to each and every subsection, but as of now I'm just going to show you what exactly we can monitor from this particular section. Okay, so this performance monitoring infrastructure PMI sections, okay, what I'm talking about here, it's like a sensors in a car measuring speed, fuel, engine, and temp. Okay, so we have a multiple sensors in our car, right? So some sensors can check the what is the speed of your car right now when you're driving, what is the level of your fuel, what is your engine temperature, right? It gives you the right time information. What is the current speed, what is the current fuel level, what is the current engine temperature, right? Similarly in the WebSphere, when a lot of users are connected and then the requests are getting processed, okay, so there would be a current utilization of the number of parameters, current utilization of heap size, current utilization of the connection pool, current utilization of the threads. Okay, so these kind of information we can get with the help of this performance management infrastructure, which is called the PMI. So that means it collect live statistics of what is the CPU workload, what is the thread pool usage, JDBC pool usage, total number of session count that has been created, your servlet response time stats, what is your JVM usage. So these kind of statistics we can check with the help of performance monitoring infrastructure, and this help us to get what is the optimized value for our system, right? For example, if I say that my total number of thread count for a particular subsystem is 20, and when you are monitoring from this console and it is always going to 20, right? So if it is always reaching to 20, or and that means sometime it is hitting more than that, so definitely you need to increase this value, right? And if it is 20, But you can see the utilization is not going more than 10 anytime. So why you need the 20? You can reduce it to 10 or somewhere around 12 or 15 to save the resource of your system. So by this way, this particular section help you to understand the current statistics, which help you to further tune your system. Okay, and apart from that, then we have the request matrices. This request matrices track how one user request travel through WebSphere, right? So that means when the request is connected to the WebSphere, there are multiple subsystem inside the your application server. Okay, so your request reach from one subsystem to another subsystem for processing. Okay, so this request matrices track the complete path of a user request, and so that you can get the understanding if you're getting some problem where the user request is getting stuck. Okay, so whether it is getting stuck at the web container level, servlet level, JDBC level for database, maybe what is the response time. So all these things you can get with the help of request matrices. Okay, the example is like the browser request. If some user is trying to access the application from browser, the request will reach to web server, then it will reach to web container, then it will reach to servlet, JDBC, and then you will have a response time. So it measure time spent in each and every layer. How much time it is spent in each and every layer. So by that time, with the help of this data, you can easily identify where the request is taking high time. Okay, so that you can start doing the troubleshooting at that particular level. Okay, and you can use it for multiple purpose, like you may be getting the problem like the pages are getting very slow. Identify whether delay in application server or maybe delay in the database server or at some different level. So that we can get with the help of request matrices. And then we have the performance viewer, which is again a very important, which is like a speedometer showing current speed. Now you have a speedometer in your car, right, which shows you the what is the current speed. Maximum you have 100, so maybe you are at 50, so it will show you what is the current speed, right? So that means you can go up to the 100. Okay, but the right now you are at 50. If you are going around 100, it is a danger. It is a danger. You are on the high speed, okay, and there would be a chance of crash, right? Similarly here, performance viewer give you the information about each and every parameter. What is the current utilization? Okay, for example, we have a web container. In web container, each request is processed by the thread. Okay, so here you can see the active thread is 22. What is the heap utilization? 65% heap utilized. How many connections are free in my data source? Only 8. Okay, so by this data, we can do the better performance tuning. If the active thread is 22 and I have defined somewhere around 20 maximum capacity or maybe 25 maximum capacity, that means it is reaching to the maximum capacity. If 65% of the heap is used, that means 35% is still free. If you always see the heap utilization is above 90%, here, okay, then definitely you need to increase your heap size. Okay, so by this way we have a different kind set of permutation and combinations that help us to tune and identify the values for our system. Okay, and then we have a log sections as well. If you would like to check the logs of your particular servers, okay, so either you can log into your server virtual machine with the help of user password. You can go to the log location and you can view in some text editor. Otherwise you can look the logs from the your WebSphere admin console as well. Okay, so here you will have a different kind of a statistics that you can get with the help of log files that I will explain you with when I will in the log sections. Okay, we will look for the different kind of a set of logs. What are the different log files? What is the importance of that? What is the purpose of each and every log file? Okay, and there I will show you. So this is the section from where you can check the log file from the console as well if you don't want to log into the particular virtual machine. Okay, so what are the important areas that we mostly tune when we are working on the application server, not specific to WebSphere, to each and every application server, whether you are in JBoss, WebLogic, or anywhere. The very first thing is the JVM heap size, thread pool size, JDBC pool, session management, caching, and your OS and DB tuning, right? Because your WebSphere or your application connecting to the database. So you need to tune database as well. And this WebSphere is running on an operating system. Database is also running on an operating system. Your web server is also running on an operating system. So that means there would be a tuning of the operating system as well. Correct. So these are the major areas that we are going to cover in this complete series. Now, what is the next? The next is IBM provide a recommended script. That means there is already a inbuilt script from the IBM, okay, which is designed according to the different environments. Okay, that means whenever you install and configure the WebSphere for any of the environment, so depend on if it is a production or non-production environment. Okay, there is a recommended script in the WebSphere which you can utilize. Okay, which you can execute just after installation of your WebSphere. So that will set some initial values according to your environment, whether it is a production or non-production. So it will give you some optimum value. But again, on top of that, again, we have to tune some more values based on your environment. But at least this is the initial beginning level that is going to set some initial values for you. Okay, so in the next session, we are going to discuss about all these. What is the recommended script? What is the location? What is the file? How to run it? What is the importance of that? How to run it for different environments? Everything we are going to cover in this session.